Welcome to the East Aurora Village Board meeting for October 16th, 2023. If you could please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can I get an attendance, please?
Trustee Lizikis. Trustee Cameron.
Here.
Trustee Vijay.
Here.
Trustee Flynn.
Here.
Trustee Raby. Trustee Shear.
Here.
Mayor Mercurio.
Present.
5 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the Village Board meeting for October 2nd, 2023?
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I got a motion to approve the payment of abstract 2023-2024 fiscal year for voucher numbers 64028 to 64068 for a total of $63,204.80.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to open our first public hearing at 7:03 PM for a special use permit for 245 Prospect, applicants Jane Brewer and Joseph Zambon to add an accessory dwelling unit.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second. Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. It is open. Is the applicant here?
Alexandra, I'm here on their behalf. I'm
Hi.
his daughter.
Great. Do you want to just give us a
Yes.
high overview of the project, please?
Yes, so my mom and her husband Joe are applying for this special use permit to live in their living space above their garage, while my family and I live in their main home. We are renovating our house on Girard Avenue, and so we have moved in with my mom and her husband, with my 2 kids and our dog. And so while our project is finished and they would like to spend some time in the garage to give everyone a little more space.
Was that always the plan, or did they moved in and then they're like, yeah, we're gonna move into the garage?
It got a little bit crowded. So that's
So-
essentially what it's for.
Thank you. I look back at the permit from 2017, I think, when they got the variance to build that. It's a beautiful building, actually.
Yeah.
It said a half bath, but then in the drawings later, I saw a shower. So there's a full bath in
There
there?
is a full bath, yeah.
Okay. And their intent, it says, isn't to rent it out at any future date, just to stay there until your project is done, and then everybody's gonna move back around into their rightful
Yes.
places.
And they spend a good amount of time at their place in North Carolina, which is why I am here on their behalf, because that's where they are right now. So they're in and out quite a bit.
Does the board have anything for Ms. Alexander before we open it up to public comment? No? All right, thank you.
Just, I mean, are we just, I know it said around a year. I mean, I guess I was just more specific on what kind of time frame you're working on.
I'm still hoping to be able to move back in in about a year. We're looking at, I mean, I think April, May.
2025.
2024.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, as far as I know, my project is still on track. I mean, you know how those things go.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering.
And they'll come back from Raleigh and move in there, Yeah. right? I mean, move in above the garage until.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it.
Would anyone from the public like to speak on this issue? You. Please. If it's possible. If it's not, that's okay too.
It's recorded, so
We can bring the mic to you if you'd rather sit.
I'm Lance Solver. I live at 253 Prospect. Adjacent to her. I live there alone. I have 7 children. So village is all about children. I'm all about children. So I'm okay with all this.
All right.
I'm Rachel Smith. I live at 257 Prospect. There's 2 of us that live at the house. I'm in support if this goes only until April. This has been all summer. It's been a very unquiet, disturbed, not nice summer. There's a lot of parties and pool activities and slamming doors and spend a lot of time outside, and it's been miserable. And when Bill originally Kramer was still here, had asked because there were drawings that he was even questioning why there was a bathroom and a kitchenette if this was not to be lived in. There's heating, there's air conditioning, and so I'm fine if they're doing it for while their project gets done, as long as afterwards there's like a 0 use policy, because it was not the whole point of this in 2019 was for it not to be illegal residence, and this is not preventing anything from saying, oh, they can't Airbnb out when they're out of town with a pool and a whole outdoor living space. And I hear every conversation that goes on 2 houses down. I'm in the backyard 24/7, and
Every conversation I'm sorry to interrupt, in the
Two houses
garage
down.
unit, outside by the pool, or in the main house?
There's outdoor showers on the garage, like everything. Main house, there's a whole outdoor section. I can tell you, I have pictures, I have videos. There's 3 dogs. I fostered a dog in the village once for 1 day and was asked if I had a permit, and it was for literally a day. So it's just, I would like to make sure that this is not an ongoing thing throughout the next summer, or that it's just a one-time use permit. That's it, because I don't want it to turn in. I know intentions now are for them to move out, but afterwards it was never an intention to be a dwellable building.
Does it, Chris, or Bob, you wanna talk to the approval we're actually looking at and considering?
Well, it's interesting you talk about ADUs, because the whole concept of how they're being used is up in front of the planning commission to review the code and make alterations to it, so that it doesn't turn into an Airbnb. And perhaps I misunderstood you. Did you say that it is being used or was being
No,
used?
but
as that?
it was not supposed, no, to my knowledge, not at all. Saying
Okay.
if it gets furnished completely and they're in North Carolina or wherever all the time, then what's to prevent it with a house with a pool from not being rented out ever?
Yeah, that's one of the things that's up for the discussion in terms of changing the local law. Make sure things like that don't happen, because obviously you're talking a place, a residential area.
Right. And but I've been in the house since 2014. Or 2015, there's never been issues until this summer, but it's just kids, a lot of noise. And
That's a question I have. Is it additional people there, or is it just the family? Because if the residents who own the main building, who own that
Mhm.
property, sell and move, the family with 5 kids moves in there. Is that what you're listening to, or is it other
well,
people?
I think people go out of town and there's parties. And so it's just because there's extra people and there's
That's what I'm just saying. You could get a family of 6 could
Yeah,
move in
of
there,
course.
and then you'll get whatever noise a family of 6 makes. Yeah,
Right.
legally.
I-
Okay.
But in 2019, we had no problem because the dwelling it's a very small home. The garage is bigger than the house. So in 2019, there was no problem because I didn't have any problem because it was not going to be used as a dwelling. So if now all of a sudden it goes from a single family to 2 houses on 1 property, that's potentially a lot. So
Understood.
it's all small
Understood.
houses in that.
And
area.
that's not the intent of this board to allow that.
So what is,
Yeah.
you want to explain to her exactly what we're voting on as far as?
But we can
Her
put a time
concern.
frame on it, right?
At the planning board, they specifically said it goes until the end of the project. I don't know if that's in the written here,
Right.
that we can cancel it after the end, Chris.
Well, you can give a temporary special use permit.
Right.
Or
That was
put-
the request, basically.
that'd be a way to get around it.
You can always put a time frame on it, right? Temporal.
You
right?
certainly
Yeah.
can make a condition.
Temporary part of it.
So what do we do? Do we put an end date for their construction that is obviously to some degree out of their control, right? It's in the contractor's hands. Or
Yeah,
do we?
That is the problem with any
Do we
construction.
require a temporary special use permit? Would we change the nature of their applications? My question.
Well, you could change the nature of their application if you wanted to do it that way and based on the presentation that it's only gonna be until maybe April-ish.
Or even longer, it's understandable that they're there because of construction on their house and then it goes.
Yeah.
You don't want it in perpetuity.
Right,
Okay.
that's the only thing that I'm asking for.
And our intent isn't to grant an open-ended. Approval.
If you just gave approval for a special use permit and that was it, then it exists.
And it could be like the big dig in
then
Boston
you-
where it goes on forever.
But we can put a condition on it, a special use permit.
Yeah, but if what your condition is really time.
Mhm.
That's why the temporary.
Give them 1
concept.
year from today.
Yeah, so if we say it's gotta be done by the end of the summer or whatever,
Yeah.
1 year from today, and it's not.
Then they would have to come back and reapply. But that prevents you from having to go through the concept of granting a special use permit. And then if there's a violation of condition. Then going through the notice provisions and the hearing provisions that you have to do with something like that.
So we'd simply put an end date on.
So you do it as a temporary matter. Based on
we add
the
it-
representations that have been made that it's a.
I'm saying, do we add a
temporary
condition? To this right now, tonight, that it has to be done by, September 31st.
Well, you just grant it as a temporary use permit to expire on such and such a date. That would be the
You've said both
temporary. Temporary use permit.
temporary use permit.
It's special.
It's turning out to be special.
If the house isn't built, there's an option. So. in
They-
terms of,
they would
if you're
still
not,
be-
they can move back in, it's in their house and just, if they had to.
And with a temporary use permit, the advantage is that it ends automatically. At the end of the period, whatever period that is that the board decides. Gives them the opportunity to do the work. And move in.
And not an open-ended approval.
And then that serves your purpose because it's not open-ended and they can't rent it out, because they won't have the permit to do that.
Right.
So.
But you still have the problem if the house ultimately gets sold and
Oh.
6 people move in.
I
You're
know.
pretty much out of luck.
It's just in 2019, there was not a problem. She did it tastefully, but now it's a whole other problem and I've seen what the effects of multiple people living there, like multiple in a small space.
Very good.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Anyone else from the public want to speak on this topic? All right, can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:15 PM?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second by Grace. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to open a public hearing at 7:16 PM to consider rezoning single-family residential to GR 49 Knox Ave, applicant Joshua Best. General residential.
So moved.
Thank you. Moved by Grace,
Second.
second by Kristen. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is open. Are you the applicant
I am. I'm
representing?
the applicant representing Fibu Properties. I'm Joshua Best. I'm the architect for the project. The applicant is in the house in the back row over there. Brian Fisher. He owns the property. I'm sure everyone's familiar with this project over at Knox and Gray Street. It's an old barn that is in disrepair. It's falling down. We plan on demolishing the structures that are falling down from the storm and have been in disrepair prior to my client buying the property. We're going to reutilize the existing CMU structure and turn it into 4 townhouse apartments. There'll be 3 2-bedroom units and 1 3-bedroom unit. we're gonna cut off the access from Knox. So all of the access for this project will be off Gray Street where there's abundant asphalt parking lot existing. We plan to reutilize that. And my client owns the property that fronts Knox Road. So this driveway will be just for this home. And then all of the parking for these 4 units will be off of Gray Street. So we feel like that will kind of minimize the traffic and it won't be, we won't add anything to Knox.
Mhm.
And if you see here with the renderings and the packets provided to you guys, you could see kind of the concept elevations and the massing that we plan on proposing.
Board have anything for Joshua Best while he's in front?
We don't have those drawings. Did you get those drawings?
I don't think so.
No, I don't have them. Okay.
All right. So what do they require after this if this gets approved?
Site plan approval, special use, the whole shebang.
And then that's it. Right? That's it. I mean, there was the first step we did with the covenant. And now there's the second step. The third step is a special use permit and the site plan.
Did this go to the ZBA for review? Okay.
All right. Anything else for Josh? No, Joshua? Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you.
Anyone from the public want to speak on this matter? All right. I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:19 PM.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second. Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is closed. I get a motion to open a public hearing for a site plan application for 123 Gray Street, applicant Benderson Development for a 5 below.
So
At
moved.
7:19 PM.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen. Second
Second.
by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is open. Hello?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the board. Matthew Oates with Benderson Development requesting site plan approval to allow a 1,433 square foot building addition in the back of existing vacant space at our Aurora Village Shopping Center. This will allow 5 below to take the existing 8,000 square foot vacant space as they require more square footage than just what was there for the vacancy. We have presented the project to the village planning board as well. The board issued a positive recommendation on the project. We think it's fairly straightforward, but happy to answer any questions that the board has.
So you say in your letter to add a rear addition will increase the building square footage by 1,433 square feet. Existing utilities relocations and pavement resurfacing. Can you just explain what that last part means?
Correct. So there on where the addition is going, there are the existing gas meters that are back there. So we're just going to have to take the gas meters, move them off to the side of the existing building to allow us to build the addition. And then once we actually build the addition, some of the pavement around the addition will get torn up. So we're just going to have to kind of repave around it so it's all clean and fixed back up.
So you're not expanding the parking back there?
No,
But you are
we
gonna
have-
strike what you have there now.
Correct. We have enough room to maintain a full width drive lane
Mhm.
with the addition as well. It's oversized currently, so we have enough room, so we don't have to expand that out.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah, that was my question. Make sure you get a fire truck or whatever.
Yes, we do wind up with a full width fire lane because right now it is oversized there, so we still do have that, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of space back there.
Yep.
Anybody else?
No.
All right, thanks, Matthew.
Thank you very much.
Anyone from the public like to speak on this matter? While the public hearing is open. All right, can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:21 PM?
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second. Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? Public hearing is closed. Can I get a motion to open a public hearing for a site plan application to construct a single family home at 757 Ellis Place? By Buffalo Modular Homes at 7:22 PM.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second by Grace for the discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is now open. Is the applicant here?
I do not see anybody here.
Thank you, Liz.
Yep.
Do you just want to give us a quick?
Sure.
Overview?
You've seen this application more than once. They were here for demolition. And then they had to go to the zoning board for rear yard setback variance, which they did receive. This is the final step in their submittal to rebuild a house on this lot. It's a 2-story house. They intend to have parking on the north side. No garage proposed at this point in time. They will be capturing stormwater from the roof drainage and putting that into a dry well at the southwest corner of that lot to help mitigate some of the concerns from the property owner directly to the west. Again, that's a private road. So the construction process, they're going to have to figure all of that out. And they have, all of the property owners along that private driveway have been working on an easement and access agreement, and maintenance agreement, because they did not currently have one there.
Yeah, the property, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's 4
Mhm.
houses there, 4
Yeah,
properties.
Behind the
They-
one on Olean.
Right, behind the double on Olean.
Yep.
So do they all come out to the edge of that little lane of Ellis?
Yeah.
Or do they come out into it,
No, just to the edge.
to the edge?
Yep.
So what's the easement that they would need if that's a open public roadway?
It's not a public roadway. So
But
it's not a public roadway,
Right.
so each property owner has been given the right to access their property through that other little driveway,
along Ellis,
right? And that there is a maintenance agreement, meaning that all of those properties together have to, I'm not sure
Plow
what
it and that kind of
exactly,
thing.
but plow it,
Snow
maintain
removal.
it, that, all of that, yes.
but they don't have an existing easement right now.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
So
But there
who
were-
owns it?
I think it was the property in the back, this particular property.
Okay. All right. And the applicant, it says is Buffalo Modular Homes, but then it says the owner's name is Russ and Carrie. Is that Welks from Burbank, California?
Welco, yes, they have
Welco.
family in the area, is my understanding. And they'd like to build this house so that they can, when they come to visit, they have a place to stay.
Great. Thanks, Liz. Anybody have
Welcome.
questions for Liz?
I can answer.
All right, anyone from the public want to speak on this? I got a motion to close the public hearing at 7:25 PM.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second,
Second.
second by Kristen for the discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is closed. Let's see, can I get a motion to open a public hearing to consider an amended special use permit for outdoor merchandise and shipping container for storage of 42 Riley Street, Manny's, applicant Manny's Hardware at 7:25 PM.
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second,
Second.
second by Grace for the discussion.
Come on up, sir.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is open. Hello, Manny. How are you?
Hey, how's everybody?
Nice.
I don't know exactly where we're at in the process. I'm trying to get a storage container for the back area of my store where the loading dock is. And the storage container is the main purpose of it is to store my forklift that's sitting out there now. It's kind of covered in tarp at the moment. I think just not a good look for our business or the area having that. So I wanted to put a storage container. Elizabeth, you did ask me to get a picture of my other storage container. And it's actually not in great condition because there's no way I could send you that. The pictures. We actually were piling things against it, some of our mulch and stuff like that. And it just was a terrible presentation. I said, this would just be a bad idea to send those pictures.
Oh, yeah, one at the store in Lancaster.
Yeah. Yeah. In the back over there, we have larger ones. I originally talked to Benderson and got it written into the agreement for a 40-foot one, but then I just knowing you guys being in the town, it just was not really. It was pretty much a no-go. I knew it, so we decided to scale it down, and then looking for other forms of structures to build. They would probably end up costing quite a bit. If I were to build a structure on site, I mean, the cost is going to get astronomical because the concrete pad underneath is not in the best condition. So first that would have to get laid down. To find a contractor at this point of the year to excavate, to drop a new pad, whether Benderson would approve it or not.
Right, because it's their property, right?
Yeah, it's their
So
property.
you'd be
They have to-
improving your landlord's property.
Yeah. So I'd be looking for something from them, and they're professional, but it's really at their it's their discretion if what they want to do. But I would not be able to pull up forklift straight in because it would the broken up concrete underneath would just wouldn't work. We'd bottom out. Forklift has to be absolutely flat. You know, everything has to be perfectly leveled 1 degree and it bottoms out. So we've had to pull it out quite a bit. Anyway, so that's that part of it.
You said the ramp is what, 40 feet to the end of the loading
It's
dock?
40 foot, yeah.
And the trailer's gonna be 20 feet long at its longest point up against the building?
Yeah, pushed up against it, out
Is
of the
the
way.
end gonna be open or is it gonna open in the middle or both?
Oh, just the end. It's more like I don't want to put a negative image, but have you seen when they take the ships that come across from like China or they pick it's just a shipping container. It's just the 20 footers as opposed to a 40 footer. But I'm real leery when I'm saying that because those are usually been at sea forever. They're usually covered in rust, you know, the salt air, etc. So this wouldn't be salty. And I know there was a concern last time I was here for rust. And then we talked about different color schemes to make it look good. Someone had mentioned because the building is the brick color, and I said that's really I'll do what you want, but that's not a good idea. It'll stand out like it'll really pop if you have a giant red container. So
Camouflage.
Some deer painted on it. I would suggest some soft pastel colors, but whatever you guys want. If you want to put it in the writing somehow that I'm really willing to work with you guys. Maybe like every year or two that if you do an inspection and you feel something needs to be done, I'm super easy to work with. And we got the paint, it's cheap, just have some guys out there in the springtime. So I'm,
Liz, do you want to weigh in on the color when he does paint it?
Well, the only thing that I just want to say is that the planning board was really insistent that the paint not or complement rather the building. Yes, it is a brick building, but there are multiple shades in that particular brick building. So could be a tan, could be more of a brick red, for lack of a better word, or some other color. But I would say, in my opinion, they were not in favor of the pastel yellow because it was the thought that it would bring attention to that particular container in the location. So the color really, I think, is up to the board at this point in time.
And I'm sure the maintenance of it, keep the upkeep, I'm sure. And I have my angle is I can't have a rust bucket if I'm a hardware store. It's like it'd be foolish, right? Like you can't even keep that, so I have a vested interest and a personal interest in keeping it looking good. And we try to keep a pretty good image of our surroundings over there. So this would be no different for us.
And then in the front, it'll be an ice machine.
Was that?
The ice machine?
Oh no, I backed that one out. No, I didn't like I didn't like the it didn't feel right because it's all nice and sleek and I just threw that in as like a placeholder just in case, but when we really got down to it, I didn't like the look of it. I wanted it inside. I like the sleek look of the front of the building. So
But you'll have the bag mulch in front.
Just the 3 for the summer months, and then we pull it out. I'm sure you guys have visited. I know most of you guys have come in the store regularly. We, like right now, we just have, wood out there, which we'll probably pull in. Hardwood, like for fire and stuff. So during the winter, it'll just be the propane out there. So.
So Chris, you said we could put a condition in there that when time comes to paint it,
You get prior approval from the board.
gravel approval from the board.
Or Liz.
If we had, or Liz.
And like,
I saw that one.
give Liz more,
Yeah.
he has an idea in terms of color. You can make it conditional upon Liz approval.
Conditional, so we could add the condition that when he does paint it, he's got to get
Comes back to you.
the CEO to sign off. I don't think it's what he wants.
Depends, Liz, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, right.
Done.
That should match the red.
Then yeah, that's better.
You're at the board meeting anyways, if you need some suggestions.
Okay. Anybody have anything else for me? All right, thank you.
No.
Appreciate it. Anybody from the public want to speak on this issue?
Susie Jackson, 1257 Warren Drive. I missed the beginning of this. Where is this shipping container going to be?
Behind, well, if you're facing Manny's Hardware,
Yeah.
right, so it'd be the right behind Ariba's, between the ramp and the back of Ariba's, right?
So it's kind of like where the parking lot area is?
Yeah, up against the building.
Oh, okay. So.
You know,
my-
there's kind of like that indentation
Yeah.
behind Ariba.
Yeah.
That goes down to
Yeah.
Fillmore.
Yeah, that's okay. Because for some reason I was thinking it was going to be like directly behind, when you were saying behind, I thought directly behind the building. And I thought that wouldn't be a good look, especially with, there's a lot of new activity going on in that area, restaurant and stuff. That wouldn't look good. So that's okay. I would like to, put out there the fact that, like you said, a condition that in a few years, if it needs repainting, you have to revisit the color or whatever. And what I have found is that the village board, when they do that, they have really good intentions of having that happen. But then a new board comes in or whatever, and people just forget that this is a condition. And I give the instance that there's a business at the corner of my street on Brook Lee, which when it was allowed to expand, the village board at the time required that they keep landscaping around the parking lot to mask the parking lot from the residents coming and going out of Brook Lee. And they kept those bushes there for a few years and now they are completely gone. So where is the stopgap to hold them accountable that this was a condition of their expansion? And so my request is that somehow you have some sort of backup and plan, whatever, so that if you're not around, or if you're like me, sometimes every day is Groundhog Day and I just don't even remember things at this age. So that would be my request, is that somehow you really put the teeth in it to make this happen. And as a designer, I would also say that the best paint color for that to really have it blend in would be whatever color is on that brick that shipping container is going to be right against. That's the color that it should be, not a contrast. Just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Susan.
All right, thanks.
So Liz, for conditions like this, she makes an interesting point. How do we enforce them 10, 15, and 20 years down the road? Do we hope a resident remembers the one that came to that hearing 15 years ago and says, hey, you guys approved landscaping, or you guys approved, no rust on this shipping container? Or like enforcement wise, kind of what's the best process to make sure stuff doesn't get missed?
So at this point in time, at this point in time, our new software system, those conditions all get added into it.
Mhm.
And so they're immediately accessible the moment we access that property address. I don't know how the village kept track of their special use permits prior in prior administrations. I don't know if it was a spreadsheet. I don't know if it was a list somewhere. So I can't speak to anything before me, but that's how we've been handling it for the last 5 or 6 years now. Everything is digitized, so it's readily accessible.
Pops up when you bring up the address.
Exactly.
So if if a resident says, hey, I remember, I don't like that we can see the parking lot from Brook Lee.
Mhm.
Why isn't there landscaping? And they call you, you could bring it up and see it.
Right.
But otherwise, we don't really have like a special permit condition task force that's taking all our conditions and driving around the village, making sure everybody
That would be me.
is held to them.
That would be me in my office.
Yeah.
That's the task force. In order for us to look at prior approved applications, is what we'd have to do is just investigate what the condition was, because while it may be somebody's thought that that was a condition, that may be not actually what was approved by the village board in those minutes. So we would have to look at the application, we'd have to look at the minutes, see what was approved, and then go from there and verify if they do need to replant something, we can proceed with that. Otherwise, we're where we're at.
Thanks, Liz.
I have an idea.
Oh, yeah, go
Come
ahead.
on up. You can come up.
I'm confident this is not gonna be an issue. Why don't you just give me a 3-year guarantee? I have to get another permit. Just put an expiration date. So if there is an issue, you can yank it out anytime. Right? Then you have the right of first refusal towards, hey, you're not keeping up with your end of the bargain. You got to get that out of here. I'm confident this is not going to be a big deal.
Mhm.
And I'm part of the community. I'm not going to have something looking goofy out there. So if you'd want to give me a 3-year permit, that gives me plenty of time. If there's any rust, I'd have time to address it, and the concerns as they progress, as the board changes, as things succeed,
So this is a special use permit, so we have the right to do that at any time.
Right.
Well, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Some kind of stopgap, kind of.
I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Then they'd have to do it on many of them.
Mhm.
It's a condition that you're putting on here.
We don't want to do that, do we?
No.
No.
You really wouldn't want it to.
All right. Anybody else from the public want to speak on the 42 Riley Street public hearing?
Everybody puts a different condition on it for years.
You can't walk it back now, man.
Yeah, you have to get out there, man.
Set a new permit application every 3 months.
Every year.
All right, can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:40 PM?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second. Second by Jeff, for the discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, public hearing is closed. I get a motion to open a public hearing at 7:40 PM to consider amending the special use permit for a patio at 586 Main Street for applicants Ed and Kristen Borzilieri at the deli to add a patio. Like a little closer than last time. No?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. The public hearing is open.
Hi, I'm Ed Borzilleri from the deli, and we are endeavoring to have outdoor seating at the deli. And we're hoping you'll see fit to approve it today.
So on your application or in your letter, you said where it says alcohol ? You said we're looking into it.
Yes. We have applied for a liquor license.
Got it. So how does that affect our approval or not approval of this tonight? Does he have to come back? Do we approve it with alcohol if he gets approved by the SLA?
Could do that. You could do it as you're not approved, yeah, that. don't, you approve it as it is now, and then if he gets it, and you want to allow alcohol outside, he has to come back for
For
an amended.
amended, yeah.
An amendment. He doesn't have to pay any fees for that. He does for an amendment?
Yes.
How much? Full price?
Yes.
You're tough. Good add, sweet.
I have this.
How much is it?
What is it?
$1.25.
25 is what it says on the application.
125. And
Or
as far as outdoor music, I think you said
Low
Spiked in
ambient,
speakers, right?
yeah, just low ambient sound.
just some background
Background,
music.
yeah.
Your hours are only to what, 7,
We are now open till 6.
6?
That could change. But not,
Another $125.
you know, I mean, look, we're, if business is, such as that people would like to eat past that, then we're gonna change our hours.
Mhm.
That's simple, not
The demand is there.
a guarantee here that, and we went from 5 to 6 2 weeks ago. If I go, obviously the patio will be nowhere near open anytime soon. And we can't start till the spring. By then, if the hours change, well, I'm not gonna base it on whether, the patio is open or not. If you say you gotta go to the patio at 6 and I have, open till 8, well, that's, I'm not concerned about that. If
Got it.
that's something that concerns you, then, or the neighbors.
You're just saying because this permit says. so.
Permit says.
The permit
Yeah.
says, you're right.
Yeah.
that's it, okay.
Just 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
But
If you want to close earlier.
small
but that-
speaker,
that
days and
allows
times of
you to
music,
come
Monday through
back.
Saturday, 10 to 7.
Well, but I can close the patio and leave the store.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, well.
This is
that's-
only, it specifies that part
Yeah,
of it.
no, that's fine. I can.
So
live with
I
that.
would leave it at, suggest you leave it at 7.
Yeah.
That's what it, yeah,
Mhm.
it says. Right? Anybody else have anything?
Well, I mean, let me ask
for-
you this question. Is there any, if I change the permit till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock now, how does that affect what I do in the future?
For the patio?
Yeah.
For music on the patio? That's, none of it weighs into the board's decision on whether they approve it or not, right? I
Okay.
mean, we're going back and forth with a couple other applicants who are trying to do outdoor music. And one
Well,
of the
this
big,
is-
one of the big issues that we discussed was how late were they gonna be playing music?
I heard, I was there for that. No, I understand that. This is not, the music is not the thing by any stretch, so.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd rather change it till 8 o'clock now and then instead of having to come back. But if I have to come back for, I guess I'd have to find out whether if we have to come back for the alcohol, the wine and
You
beer,
could do it then.
so. But, whatever, if I have to come back anyways, then it doesn't matter to leave it at 7.
Okay.
Well.
What?
Noted. Molly, you saying
Okay.
something?
No, we're gonna talk about it later.
All right, anybody have anything else for the applicant? Very good, thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Anyone from the public want to speak on this public hearing? On this topic? Get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:45 PM.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second by Grace, further discussion. All those in favor,
Aye.
opposed? Approved, public hearing is closed. Can I get a motion? No, this public hearing is already open. So we're gonna pick up where we left off with the amended special use permit application for 636 East Fillmore, applicants Alex and Nick Robinson, tavern use with outdoor seating.
Okay, so last time we were here, there were a couple questions that we went back with the architect team and addressed. To recap those, it was some clarifications between what we were proposing and the current set of plans that you guys had. Clarification on how we would mitigate the sound on the upper patio. Just indicating firmly that there's going to be no outdoor music on our patio. And then looking for just corrections in some of the dimensions and seating plans as there was a discrepancy on the proposal and the plans that was had. So to go through those, kind of one by one, the parking, I know there was a question about the number of handicap spaces. We currently have planned 14 parking spaces with 1 handicap space and 4 bicycle spaces. And that 1 handicap space exceeds the requirement because I believe it's 20 or 23, one per, anyways. We'll go on. How to mitigate the sound on the upper patio? We had a lengthy discussion with the team last week. And I know, Steve had recommended one thing with wood boards to kind of kick back sound and deflect sound back. And after having a lot of conversation with John and Ryan and the team, we kind of came to the conclusion that the best option for us is to put some slatted wood boards on top of the parapet to raise the height of the parapet to 4 feet, which is above the height when you're sitting in a chair. So to deflect all the noise from, clanking glasses or whatever, kind of deflect it back toward the ice rink direction. And that would be on the side that parallels Church Street where the residents are. Again, once again, indicating no outdoor music. We're absolutely not asking for that. And then to clarify.
Sorry, just to clarify. So it's the east side of the building, right? Of the patio, of the
Yes.
2nd story patio.
Yes, correct.
Just the east side is gonna have the 4-foot wood slat fence.
Correct.
What's the north side gonna have?
The north side that faces the accountant's office, that would just be the parapet and then a railing up to 4 feet.
You still gonna do the plants you were talking about, the vegetation you were gonna put in there?
Yeah, so we still plan to add, in addition to that, the arborvitae bushes, which will hopefully do something and absorb some additional noise in addition to the wood. And then clarifying the seating, it is 23 outdoor seats. I know the diagram and the plans last time, there was a discrepancy, so it'll be 23 outdoor seats as shown on the diagram here. I think that covers it.
I would just like to point out that we did get 19 letters of support from neighboring residents and businesses. Just thought it was worth mentioning.
Do you have all those, Maureen? We do have them on file. 1 against, 19 for. And as far
Are
as the
these
topics-
adjoining residents? Are these residents right adjoining the property? Because we've had,
It was
we've
a
had,
mix. I read
okay,
there's businesses and some residents.
I know there were numerous Church Street residents who wrote in, as well as neighboring businesses.
Uh,
yeah, I don't remember seeing them. Where did you see those?
We got them emailed.
We did?
Oh, I'm on planning. That's
Yeah,
why
they
I
were
got 'em.
planning.
Oh, okay.
mhm. If you could get those out to us, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
as far as the open topics from last time, those were all 3, right?
Thank you for going back and clarifying all that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
appreciate it.
Anybody else have anything for the applicants? All right, thank you, guys. Anyone from the public want to speak on this project? All right. You get a motion to. This might be the longest open public hearing I've ever seen
I'm not sure it
in
is.
18 years.
I'm not sure it's the longest one we've done.
Really? 4 meetings? Right?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:51 PM.
motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Ernie. Further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is closed. This is our first open speakers and communications. You have any topic you'd like to talk about, now's your chance. You'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. Maybe second speakers and communications section. Raise your hand when acknowledged. Come up, please, if possible. Give us your name and address and let us know what your issue is. Anyone? All right, moving on to official considerations. 4A. This is for the house on Prospect, the garage accessory dwelling unit. Applicants Jane Brewer and Joseph Zambon. We originally were going to consider to approve a special use permit. And then we talked about instead approving a temporary use permit with an expiration date. Does anyone want to make Any motion in alignment with either of those? Really?
I would make a
Well,
motion.
yeah,
to-
can we discuss
Yeah.
before we make a motion?
You gotta get on the floor first, don't you? Once you have to get on the floor. Technically, you need a motion on the floor.
Oh,
We
right.
have an open discussion.
Yeah, you can change it, withdraw it later, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
make a motion. Someone.
Well, I would make a motion to approve the special use permit with an expiration date of 1 year from today.
You mean a temporary use permit?
Temporary use
Use
permit.
permit,
Very good.
okay.
I'll second.
10/16/24. All right, moved by Grace, second by Kristen for temporary use permit expiring on 10/16/2024. Now for the discussion.
Yeah, now can I talk about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just concerned. You know, she said April, and obviously we all know that that's gonna go longer, but the concern was with the summer, so. I just didn't know if there was somewhere in between there.
You're saying it's too long?
It seems like long, I mean, a month
Like,
or a year seems long. I mean, I don't know, but then again, to your point, they could sell the house and 28 people could move in there.
It gets
So,
cool outside.
right.
It's gonna.
Yeah, I think that's, the neighbors sounded like it wasn't necessarily that one more summer is,
Yeah.
the end. It was just that it can't be indefinite.
agree with that.
So a year seems like a long time to me, but. Okay,
It's a major project, so I could see it being pushed.
you could see it going that long. Okay,
It's the house they lifted on Gerard.
I'll defer to your expertise on that, okay?
Nothing goes easy in construction.
Okay. I'm
So
good
this
then.
gives them wiggle room, and if the project.
Yeah,
They get to
right.
October and they're still not done, they gotta come back.
Right, because if we put it earlier and it's not done, they have to come back and it's really out of
It's
their
more of a
control,
headache.
more of a headache, right?
Yeah, that's, I don't want to be back and forth for 3 months.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you. I just need to talk that out.
Any other discussion on Grace's motion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Excuse me, can I get a motion to approve a neg deck under seeker for local law rezoning 49 Knox Ave from single family residential to general residential, applicant Joshua Best?
Move.
Moved by Jeff, second
Second.
by Ernie. Further discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve a local law to rezone SFR to GR for 49 Knox Avenue, applicant Joshua Best?
So moved.
By Ernie, second
Second.
by Jeff. Further discussion?
I think it's a great addition. I think that building's an eyesore and I think it's a good project.
Good use of the building.
Good use of the building. There's a lot of different things.
I like the egresses. I
Yeah,
think that was
Yeah.
nice.
Moving it
addition
off the
to
map.
the project. Changing the egresses around like that so that it was not just like a big
oh, yeah,
Yes.
Knox.
parking lot mess.
Yeah, I think they did a nice job of that.
All right, any other discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, congratulations. I get a motion to approve a neg deck under seeker for the site plan application for 123 Gray Street, Benderson Development for a 5 below expansion space.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second by Molly. Further discussion? Yeah, this just kind of expands into a non-space that doesn't, I don't feel like it really affects anybody.
No.
Fire trucks can get in there. Drive lanes are still clear. The parking's already there. Saw some deer there. They won't be disturbed. They can still hang out. Any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve a site plan application for 123 Gray Street, Benderson Development for a 5 below this space?
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Congratulations. I get a motion to approve a neg deck under seeker to construct a single family home at 757 Ellis Place by Buffalo Modular Homes.
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second.
Second.
Second by Kristen. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve a site plan application to construct a single family home at 757 Ellis Place? Buffalo Modular Homes is the applicant.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? So let's just to clarify. We approve this, they tear down the house, they build another house. The egress thing, they own that road. Can they just build a fence along the south side of the road and just block off the three other houses on that street?
That's what the agreement's for.
But they haven't, they don't have one yet. You said.
They're working on
They're
that.
working on it.
Yeah. In
Short
addition,
answer to your question is yes.
They could.
Well, it's like Culver.
But you would end up in court so long because of their use that it's been, and the expense wouldn't be worth it.
Culver Court's.
We wouldn't be around to see the fence.
So there's no, I'm just saying, is there a way that we could help keep that clean by saying we'll approve this pending a successful easement agreement between the four residences?
It's a good idea.
You could do that if you want to interject yourself potentially into what happens.
Do you recommend we don't do that?
I mean, it sounds like a yes.
It's very ominous tone you had, Chris.
Be careful the path you walk down, you may.
Well, only because there'd be other ones, saying that you'd be interjecting. I don't think you want to get into that position.
You can do it. If you want to be able to protect the other people, then yes, it's advisable. But again,
Three
you're
other
interjecting
village
yourself.
residents.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
So all we're saying is
I'd say go for it.
this goes
You go
as
for
long as, how would that be worded?
Just as you said, contingent upon the successful completion of an agreement with respect to access.
Contingent upon a. One more
Say-
time. I write slow.
Successful.
Successful agreement with respect to access.
We can leave it that vague
Yeah,
with respect to access.
yeah.
Well, the motion's not mine, it's Molly's. So, you wanna leave it the way it is? You wanna add that?
I'll amend the motion to include the caveat that it's contingent upon successful execution of an agreement regarding access.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Jeff, do you wanna second that?
Second.
All right,
It will give an incentive to
exactly,
them to do it quickly.
exactly.
Sure.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve an amended special use permit for outdoor merchandise and shipping container for storage at 42 Riley Street, applicant Manny's Hardware.
So
Moved by Grace, second. Second by Ernie. Further discussion.
Do we have to build something in there about the appearance?
You wanna say that any paint color has to be approved by the CEO? It's up
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
It's something we talked
do we
about.
want to do
It's
that?
your motion.
I think we'd be supporting the planning commissions.
Yeah.
And some of the neighbors and some of the residents' concerns. He seems amenable. I think he's gonna,
he's
yeah.
not a
Mhm.
problem.
You'd be supporting Liz too.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like purple's out the cult.
Whatever color the mortar is on the brick.
So what's your,
Approved special use permit contingent that the CEO reviews paint color prior to it being installed.
approves or review?
Approves.
Just clarify.
I appreciate it.
Ernie, are you
Yeah.
changing your second to her
yes,
amended motion?
exactly.
All right, any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? I get a motion to approve an amended special use permit for 585 Main Street, Ed and Kristen Borzilieri, applicant the deli, to add a patio.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion.
Do we want to add something in there about the alcohol and the time, or?
You don't know at this juncture if SLA is even gonna grant the permit.
Yeah, but
Do we-
don't we approve permits often with that, without knowing that, or no?
I
You
can't
can
tell you
make-
what you've done in the past.
In the past.
Well, does it have to come back?
Made it subject to.
I guess I'm trying to minimize the number of times they have to come back, so.
Right.
Does it change if we say,
Subject to.
Yeah.
Conditioned upon.
that's my question.
I think legally,
You
certainly can.
do it.
I guess my decision to give him a patio or not is not affected by whether he's serving alcohol or not, but it may be for others, so I don't want to speak for others.
Does that change the use of the public hearing?
Well, it will change the use of the permit. And you're expanding what it was. And I don't know if he put in
It wasn't checked.
alcohol.
It wasn't checked one way or the
Well,
other. There
a
was just a
question
note.
Because he
Will
was,
alcohol beverages be served? And yes and no were both left blank, and he just wrote in there looking into the possibility.
Right.
That's why I asked him about it.
and he has since said that he put an application in, I believe.
Well, it was because it was on there. Notice has been provided that at least it's being examined.
Right.
Hasn't been approved, but been examined, so. People would have a hard time disputing. I didn't come to the public hearing because I didn't know. Well, it's on that application, which is in the minutes, which is on the website.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
Right.
Yeah.
The notice is a good input, but it is, notice is there.
All right, the motion is Jeff's.
Yes,
Are there any changes?
I'm good with that.
You good with it
Yep.
the way it's worded?
Amended. You want to amend it or not?
Well, yeah, I mean, to expand to include, what's the wording on that? I'm,
What you want to do is approve the special use permit. Well, you don't want to say it's contingent upon getting SLA approval. And permit the sale of alcohol contingent upon SLA approval.
because he can't sell alcohol unless he gets that,
Right.
so.
Correct.
He can still have his patio.
We can
He still have his patio.
And that's what you're approving.
And he doesn't have to come back then because you're saying if SLA gives him permission, then we're good with it.
Then we're good with it.
Right.
Right.
So yes.
Right. So the hours are still 7 as written.
Do we want to
Yes.
change the hours to 8?
At that point, you may be expanding.
Too
a
much?
little bit beyond. what
Yeah.
you want
Okay.
to.
All
Yeah.
right, one thing.
Let's give the patio and the booze, and then if the hours change, you gotta come back for another one.
Fair enough.
All right.
I mean, it's your motion, sorry.
My motion is what Molly said. Good job. Teamwork.
Yeah, great.
I'll second it.
Yep, so you're, so
Second,
Jeff's
Frederick,
amending the
you're
motion
seconding.
based on what Molly and Chris just verbalized. And
I
Grace, you are
second.
seconding the amended motion.
Okay.
Any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? Jay, can I get a motion to approve an amended special use permit for 636 East Fillmore applicants Alex and Nick Robinson for a tavern use with outdoor seating?
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff, further discussion. So. I'm kind of echoing Steve's concern with the sound coming off the north side of that patio. There is no music, which I appreciate. But the general din of 20, whatever it was, 23 people
Clinking glasses and talking.
clinking glasses and talking, and whoever's standing, I guess, could probably even have more there. Is my concern for the residences, of Church Street. Is just taking care of the short side with a 4 foot high wood slat wall, gonna absorb enough sound. To keep it from becoming a nuisance. If we approve it as is. And it is a nuisance and they all come in and complain, our options are what?
Come back and then you go through the whole process of notice and a hearing to revoke the special use permit.
Or amend it,
Or amend it.
right? If they're like, oh yeah, we didn't realize how loud it would be,
Well,
we'll put that fence on
to
the north
amend
side.
it, to amend it is going to be at their request to amend something. Your action would be to
Just to
revoke.
revoke it.
And at that point, they would then have to come in to seek an amendment.
Good. So we have options.
Could an option be to reduce the time for the outdoor patio? 'Cause it's now till 11.
That could be a condition.
I guess if they're doing business at the same time with stuff going on at the rink, what time does the stuff at the rink? Close out? 9, 10, I don't.
Oh, no, that's, yeah.
Yeah,
later.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You're a
11.
resident rink expert.
Right, as the person that plays in those late games. Yeah, it's
The
about,
noise ordinance is 11, but they'll still do stuff in the ring.
I think 11:30
Sometimes
is about the
someone
latest
complains
that they, 11:30 is about the latest that
So they go
stuff goes
later.
on there if something happens, but
It is your motion, Grace.
Or we leave it how it is.
7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Sunday, sorry.
Leave it
Or
how it is.
just do it
wait
on
till people
weekends or something,
complain.
I mean. It's 7 days a week to that.
Could just do.
I gotta say, our late games don't really get fans. I'm not overly concerned that there are a bunch of people trying to watch beer league hockey players.
Staying
It's-
until the game ends at 10 and then going across.
Right,
the
it's
street.
really maybe the team that played before wants to watch.
I've watched beer league play football late.
Good.
Summer.
Good.
I kind of like that idea, Molly. Maybe just till 11 on Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe. And then what? 9 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I mean, I guess I'm just thinking we just gave it to Riley's. So they
Yeah.
could do some
Mhm.
stuff outside on weekends. So,
Kind of match. what we
Ariba,
did.
Ariba has outdoor dining.
right, so I
But they're
don't
not
wanna
out-
handcuff
I'm talking
anyone.
about the second floor patio where the noise will carry.
Right, but I'm just
into
talking,
the
like on a Tuesday night, do we really need, you know, all that noise up there? till-
Reba's in that
Yeah.
enclosed little stockade
Right.
area with an overhang. This is
Yeah, you're out
open
there.
and facing the residential side of the village. Residential side of Main Street. We don't have to decide today if you want more time.
I'm not sure what else we're gonna
Are we really
learn
gonna
with
drag
more
this out
time.
more? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying if you need more time, you don't have to decide today.
I didn't bring up the sound
Oh.
issue.
Well, we could, we could go ahead and approve it, and again, if we have complaints, we can.
Then we have issues,
review it.
then we can come
We
back
can
and
review it, right?
we can always revoke it
Yes.
and then ask them to amend or, right?
And obviously, it's supposed
Please
to,
remember that when you get to the point of revocation, it's because people have complained.
Right.
It's already.
Right, if it's foreseeable,
already
we should
done.
probably deal with
Right.
some of that now.
How you get
So you gonna wait for it to bother them, or you gonna hope it doesn't bother them, or you gonna do something
I'm saying
to reduce the chance of it bothering?
we leave their hours 7 to 11, but the outdoor patio hours are earlier through the week, and then Friday, Saturday, give them till 11. And then if that's an issue, it's an issue.
I mean, that
There,
seems
there would be, if you
reasonable.
did that, there'd be nothing to preclude that from coming back. After several months of. Time for good behavior and seeking an amendment of it to give more time.
Right, like the summer comes and there's no problems, they can come back and say,
We want to be 11
hey,
every
can
night.
we wanna go
Yeah.
every day? And we
Mhm.
could change it then.
Yeah.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Right,
All right,
I
so
think it sounds great.
amend so approval with the condition that there's special use time Monday through Sunday, 7 to 11 for indoor. Right, and then the outdoor patio, 7 to 9. 7 to 9, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and 7 to 11, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right, Jeff, do you want to second or amended? motion?
Second amendment motion.
All right, any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We got a motion to schedule a public hearing on November 20th, 2023 for a special use permit for 33 Elm Street applicants George and Linda Lund, open retail, Babka's Pierogies.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second. Second by Grace. Further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Public hearing is scheduled for November 20th. Moving on to new business. We have, well, Maureen, you want to tell us what we have in front of us?
A is a cannabis application for a micro business at 19 Ernst. B is an application for 4 retail establishments at 25 Ernst.
Well, it's not applications in front of us, though.
No, the application, the licensing only comes through OCM, Office of Cannabis Management. They are required to provide you notice. And while technically it says in terms of 30 days to 270 days, I think it is, no one ever gives that amount of time. So everyone's giving 30 days notice.
So we just need to know if you have any comments on either of those applications that you want to add to the code comments.
So these are applications to OCM by the listed applicants. And in their notification to the municipality, there is a option to add a comment by the municipality.
Correct.
Before it goes on back to OCM for their decision, right?
Correct.
Now, the first one, Chiba Chiba, is listing it as a micro business instead of a retail dispensary premises. I guess we could talk about them one at a time. So what does that entail, Chris? A micro?
Well, that's a good question. But this does say with retail authorization.
What is that? What's that mean?
They want to still be able to sell it, but they want to call it something else.
Okay.
But have you gotten a clarification on the differences between
No,
micro
we're-
business and
we are
retail
working on
authorization?
that. Yeah.
Retail?
We are working on that. To try to find out what is being considered by OCM as a micro business.
The Chiba Chiba opened how long ago? Beginning of the summer? Lieutenant Wells, do you have any idea?
Probably.
Can't say my cousin.
We're
Wondering where you got that knowledge.
How do you know? How do you know?
Fred told him.
I have a friend.
One of the things that one of the things the state is gonna look at is, have they had any violations? Have they had problems at the facility? Were they previously selling cannabis products before they had license? And if that's the case, then that's something that would go in front of the OCM. To say, oh, by the way, they were doing this before they even had license. Same thing with the other company. I haven't got there yet, but the same types of issues.
So do we know if this establishment has had any issues or has been selling before?
I haven't been in there either, so.
They've been selling.
Oh, they have.
cannabis.
Oh, they have.
Straight up cannabis, yeah.
Oh.
Since I think May. Since May. And Shane, the police chief, sent a letter to the OCM and said, what's going on? Are these guys licensed? Is this legal and appropriate? And Pat, do you have any idea how that conversation went or what the response was? But they didn't close them down.
We've been completely cited on the enforcement arm of it. How they're gonna deal with those that have begun to sell prior to license. I don't believe he's heard definitively back yet.
That would not be surprising. They have so many applications in front of them.
Not even on the radar.
I guess my issue is that they came into the village and started selling cannabis without a license.
Which may be why they're saying they want to do a micro business as opposed to retail, because they're trying to hide underneath. Micro business. Under the concept of a micro business as opposed to retail.
Whereas the other guy next door, 25 Ranch Place, is applying first before coming in, right? I mean, his business hasn't been open. So he's coming in first and doing it in the right order. Proper order.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of other things that go into play, you know, how close are they to schools, how close are they to churches,
Well,
that all gets taken care of through our zoning.
but I was just gonna say, as long as they're following all the zoning and everything, I guess I'm with you,
But
Pete.
this would be something now based on where they're proposing to put it. If they have that concept there, that'd be another thing you would tell the state, oh, by the way, they're next door to a school.
But
this is when we would tell them that.
Yeah, you can do that now.
Well, I have more of an
That's-
issue that they're not playing by the
That's happening
rules.
no matter what. We're just looking for extra comments. Isn't that correct, Chris? I mean, what Liz gave us. for
All I'm
code-
saying is you might as well do it all at once.
Yeah, but what Liz gave as code is going in there no matter what.
Yeah.
So if
So-
if you have additional comments.
So Liz, you're weighing in as far as the code. That's correct.
Sure, yeah. But I will say though that the micro business is also covered under it's also stated in there. So whether or not the Chiba Chiba wants to be some micro business or they want to be a dispensary, it doesn't matter. Any cannabis use falls under the restrictions that we have with distances from schools, at
Whatever they call it.
churches and other dispensaries.
So I guess, in my view, if we could add comments, I would say we recommend the state doesn't, the OCM doesn't approve Chiba Chiba because of the way they went about it. I don't know that I have any issue with the other one, who's doing it in the right order. Right?
Yep.
I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
No, I feel the same way.
I do. If
Yeah.
you're gonna,
Yep.
if you wanna come in, you gotta play by the rules. So,
That's why there's rule.
yeah.
I will tell you what you're going through is not unique.
Oh, okay.
So what about the second one that has 4 licenses? What does that entail exactly?
Yeah.
Like, is it all in one location?
I think the applicant's here.
I think the applicant is here. And unless someone from the board or village government, unless someone from the board of village government can answer that question, I think we got Carlos
Certainly
to
can.
expand on it. Would you mind, Carlos? Come on up.
Young man to come up and give his name and.
Thank you so much.
Carlos Santos, I'm at 121 Hamlin in East Aurora. That 4 was an accident, it meant to be a click and just a check mark. It was not meant to be 4. I apologize for that. I realized it afterwards and it had already been submitted, so I figured at some point I'd address it with you guys and let you know I'm not trying to open 4, just the 1.
I'm glad you're here to answer.
Yes.
And you're looking to do it right next door to where Chiba Chiba is.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's
No connection.
no connection. There's limited locations I can't get from Benderson. And with the limitations with schools and stuff, I actually initially I didn't believe Chiba Chiba was going to go for an application. In the advertiser a couple months ago, an article about them, they said they weren't. So that was one of the reasons why I thought that location would be fine. Obviously, if they get licensed before me, I would not be allowed within. I know that you guys at 500 feet, I think, at the zoning. It's 2,000 by the state, so it's even further by the state. And that's going to come down to basically a random queuing position for the application. Once it's done.
So if you get the license and get to open, they wouldn't be able to be there.
Right, right. And what their micro business entails is that they're probably growing off-site somewhere. They, I think within 20 miles of their location, they have to have a farm essentially or somewhere where they're growing. And they'll rather sell or process at that location. But with the notice I saw on the agenda, I'm assuming they're applying for a retail with the ability to grow their own product.
It's a great clarification.
Yeah.
You always speak very knowledgeably on this subject.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been two plus years. I can't believe that we're here after all this time. It's- I really thought it would have been a lot quicker. So,
Yeah. No, the state. All right, anybody have any questions for Carlos while he's up front?
Nope.
Thank you for clarifying that.
no problem. All right, thank you.
So in our comments for his application, I would suggest we say that we spoke with the principal and he said he's just looking to open one licensed operation versus four.
Clerical error.
Clerical error. We don't need to actually vote on the comments. We
No,
just
no,
gotta
no,
all
no, no,
mutually
no,
agree.
just-
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, this is just giving guidance
Yeah.
for the letter.
Anybody have anything else they want to add comment wise?
Nope.
The police department have anything they want to add comment wise?
I will work with Liz and Maureen to get it out.
Thank you. That's it for new business, no old business, second speakers and communications. Anybody want to speak on any topic or issue? Now's your chance. Raise your hand. Let us know in some form. All right. Department head report, Lieutenant Pat Welch. Welcome.
I have nothing in Chief Reader's absence.
Um,
I'll defer to his return to the East Coast.
I got a few questions for you. How the new officers doing?
Broad question, Mr. Mayor. What are you talking?
The latest two.
That
The latest two.
you've got one that is in the police academy currently.
Everything's going well there.
The last I was advised, he is passing with good grades and is expected to make the mark, if you will.
Do you know when he would start?
Normally they graduate around the, I don't even know if this is on. I don't hear. Yeah. Middle of December, come out for field training, which would go just shy of 3 months before he sees a shift by himself in a car. So ideally that officer would be a usable number, if you will, by March-ish, maybe April.
So he spends 3 or 4 months with it. Was it FTO? Is everything?
Field training officer, yes. They call that OJT, which is on the job training with a field training officer.
So he's not alone until March or April and deemed ready.
Correct.
And the other guy?
The other guy that was transferred from SUNY UB is through the on the job training portion, which is shorter for a transfer that's already gone through the police academy and done that original training fresh out of the police academy. And he is out on his own currently, working the 3 to 11 shift with lots of help around him and doing well.
Awesome. Thank you. How about muffler enforcement? The hot topic for this board and the community.
As a village resident on a busy street, if you ask the police officers, it's something that comes out of my mouth every day in the morning. So we have made that very important. The audible level of motorists in the village is right on the radar.
Great.
You randomly pull them over, or you set up checkpoints and get mufflers, or how's the enforcement look?
Nothing is random. Everything's with probable cause, Mr. Mayor.
Of course.
Basically, if it's observed, it gives you the right to stop them and inquire.
And then tickets?
Tickets are great. We've actually upped the output with the additional number of officers that we gracefully have accepted, and I believe that the chief would say that he's currently happy with the numbers.
Thanks. I like Grace's comment at that meeting. And he said, you want people to be afraid to break the law and he's still on.
Can we have a no container town? Follow the rules.
Well put. How about the window updates on the police station?
That
You know anything
report.
about that?
I do. I've been working with your current. How many hats are you wearing right now? And I know exactly how many windows in that building there are and what the sizes are, and should be getting that report soon.
So we found that a lot of people were saying that you had to do the windows a certain way. But I had done some research and found that it was only said that way because we were looking at grant money at that time. And because we are not looking at doing it with grant money, we have a broader ability to do the work at a lower costs. So we're looking at doing the windows, which has been an issue, has been something that the officers have been asking about, is a safety measure as well. So we're kind of looking into it. So Patrick has been collecting some of that data for us. We're got the DPW helping as well. And we're going to see how much it's going to be to possibly redo those windows in a way that still keeps the character of the building, but we don't necessarily have to follow all the historic items to see how much it comes out to be. We do have some money saved and see what more we might need, see if we could get somebody to, you know, like a SAM grant or something like that, or if it was just something we could save more money for.
Right. It'll be a lot cheaper.
A lot
not going
cheaper.
through the grants.
Yep.
Very good.
Any other
Thank
questions on
you.
that?
Lieutenant Welch, anything on the park camera? Do you know? You know any status on that?
The park camera?
Yeah, putting a camera in the park on a post. I know we talked about getting a grant, right? For like one camera maybe?
Shane applied for that grant.
50,000 something?
It's, I'm assuming based on what he had told me, it's more of one of them that you apply for and you pretty much get. So once we hear if we get that or not, he'll order that camera.
Good. Then we put it up,
Put it up in the park.
move it around.
It has that ability to be easily moved around from my understanding.
Very good. Thank you. Anybody else have anything for Lieutenant Welch while we have him here, while we're graced with his presence? Anything else to add, Lieutenant Welch? Sir. Thank you for coming out tonight. Matthew?
We started our leaf collection a little early this year. And we ran an extra week late on the branch and chipping. And that's all I have for tonight.
Anyone else have anything for? All right, thank you, Matt. Liz.
I have nothing.
Maureen.
First, Kristen, for the capital committee, would it be okay if I set a meeting up for about a month from now for the capital committee to get back together and start getting a capital, the plan just updated for next year's budget?
Yep, sounds good.
Then I have been working with Christine to do an electronics pickup. And as long as the board doesn't object, because it would be free because of the new changes, we are looking at possibly doing an electronics pickup the week of April 1st to April 5th, 2024.
Wonderful.
How would that look?
So we're gonna do it slightly different is what we're looking at, and everybody's gonna put it out with their garbage and just put it separate. So like if you put your garbage on your right, put it on the left, or just leave a space between it. Our DPW guys would drive around the village in that area, picking it up, taking it back to the DPW. The company that takes the stuff will bring skids and wrap and all the things that we need to palletize it. So our guys would bring it back to the DPW, palletize it, and the company takes it away. Am I missing
Is that a
anything?
word?
On that? Palletize it?
Yeah.
It totally is a word.
It's a word.
I think it is now.
It is. I used it in a sentence.
So the benefit is that instead of doing it like on a Saturday at sinking
Mhm.
ponds, We wouldn't have to pay right overtime for days and have big lines and access, the cars trying to get in. I remember when they did it at Parkdale, it was a hot mess. It was terrible. So if they do pick up at the streets, you're gonna communicate with Modern. I assume they simply just won't pick up something that's not approved garbage for them anyway.
So why we like kind of started doing it without asking it, getting it kind of lined up is because the garbage company puts out their brochure and they're doing that right now. So we're getting all the information for the Leafs for next year, all of that set so that it goes on that calendar. So we wanted to get this set so we could have it on that calendar. So it will be advertised in the calendar that everybody gets sent to their house. We'll have it on the website, all of that, so that people will know. I mean, the information will be out there. I think the first year is always, you get tons of extra TVs, especially tubed TVs that people have had in their basement forever. And we'll probably get a lot of stuff. Maybe some people won't know about it, but by the next year, you get everything.
But
And
instead of somebody trying to wrestle some big TV into their car and get it down to a pickup location, all they gotta do is bring it out to the sidewalk.
Yep.
That's the town just did it this way a month or two ago, didn't they?
They do it similar. The only thing they do differently is you put your stuff out and then they could come anytime during that week. So it could be
Okay.
sitting out there for an entire week. So we're just trying to make it like you're taking out your garbage anyways. It's easier to remember. It's easier to know.
Even better. Awesome.
Then I also have, so we had talked about the bathrooms at the recreation building. And since we're doing some work over there anyways, we were kind of looking at possibly bumping the back of the building out so that it would be ready when we had money for putting a bathroom in.
Just to clarify, the north side of the building.
But after I had discussed it with Matt, because I'm not a construction person, Matt said we need engineering for that part of the building to bump that wall out. So I guess I'd need to know, does the board want us to start looking at that? Or do you want to send it to the Hamlin Park Committee? Where are you with that? Should we just have it fixed and wait? Or should we see if we could move that faster to combine it with having the other side fixed?
Just for the folks who weren't on the board at the time, was it Clark Patterson Lee? Who did the Hamlin Park, right?
Yeah.
Hamlin Park Plan, master plan. They recommended tearing down the rec building and putting a new building in there at a cost of, they estimated like $1 million.
Well, 2 million
That was
now.
Yeah, that was then. I think it got up to about
But
3.
Yeah, it's for a rec building in the park. The big issue that all the surveys that we had done came back with was a lot of families were at the playground area with little kids. They had 2 or 3 little kids. One had to go to the bathroom. And the way it currently is, they have to go around the Aurora Players Building by the road to the old bathrooms near South Grove. Parents lose line of sight, so then they have to take all their kids and go all the way over there and everything, and the bathrooms are in pretty bad shape. So the thought was, we would put new bathrooms on the east end of the building. The rec department has said they like the open garage door, and during the Independence Day celebration, they can have the counter there and sell food and that kind of thing. So they'd like the east end of the building kind of intact the way it is. Since we're doing work on the building, the thought was, we already have water into that building. Maybe our DPW, since they did such a nice job with the football bathrooms, would be able to add buildings onto the north side with doors that are still visible from the playground. And kind of solve all the problems, get some brand new unisex bathrooms in there at a much, much lower price than what the engineer had recommended.
I like it. But last time we made a decision on the park without consulting the Hamlin Park Committee, we got blowback, so I kind of would like them to look at it.
Definitely.
We're meeting in November. I can bring it back to them. And ask how
When do
they-
you need a decision on that?
I don't have to have one, but it's just, should we hold off on repairing the building from the accident till we have that answer?
I think it makes sense to do it all together, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's one mobilization.
You would
of
know it
crew.
by what's the
And
meeting.
it sounds like they probably won't do that till the spring now,
Why would
depending on how
did we
fast.
not fix it till the spring? Yeah.
We
yes,
meet on the
correct.
We
14th,
got time.
Yeah, so we have time to.
14th of November. So
And there's no issues with winter with the building the way it is, Matt, stabilized.
Yeah, let's get their opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I think that'd be great. And I think in general, this is going to be something people are really in favor of. Those bathrooms have been a problem for ages. And part of the reason we haven't fixed them till now is because we know we're about to tear them down and move them closer. So it didn't make any sense. But yeah, it'd be great to get that done.
The last thing I have is it was asked of me about having possibly a bench put in for Kathy. We do have the tree that was put in at Sinking Ponds for a former employee who worked at the DPW. So some of the employees had suggested putting the bench near that tree, and that would be kind of our employee thing. We could order the bench through our general funding for benches, and we'd have to order a plaque. When you get, if you did that and you wanted to do that, then the board would have to decide what they wanted the plaque to say. So you guys can think about it. Let me know.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. I think we never actually formalized, I don't think, our memorial tree / bench policy.
Correct. It's on the list of things to do.
So yeah, that's.
However, it doesn't apply to us.
Well, no, I correct and understood, but I think it would be good to knock that. I mean, we've talked about that a handful of times and probably more than it needed to be discussed for what it is. So, but yeah, so nope, totally agree that this makes sense. But yeah, let's get that back on the list so that everybody can do this.
Anything else, Maureen?
Nope.
Thank you. All right, trustees. Molly, you want to go first or Kristen? I'll give you guys the choice.
No, I got nothing.
Grace?
Nothing.
Ernie?
Nothing.
Jeff?
Nothing.
Molly?
I paid a visit to the zoning board last week since I hadn't been back in a while. And just as a liaison, just wanted to connect with them, and they're doing a great job. Jenny runs a tight ship over there, really great group doing a thorough job, and Liz, and so just want to report back that checked in with them and everything's going okay.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Molly.
Sure.
Who's Jeff the liaison for?
Parks Committee.
HPC.
Oh, this Jeff, I thought Jeff stole.
This Jeff.
I'm thinking about,
Who is
I'm thinking
Who's George the
DPW.
liaison?
HPC was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yeah, I do that, and I did get a nice letter mailed to my house.
What else is he on? Pedestrian bike, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds great.
I think, or is that Steve? It was one of them.
We can look it up. You'll look it up and let everybody know.
Yeah.
How about you remind everybody what their liaison appointments are?
Yeah, rather than just picking on Job.
Don't feel bad. I hadn't been back there since I was on.
Yeah, I know mine.
Not you automatically get environmental. Because no one wants it.
All right, is that it, Molly?
Yeah.
All right, so. It is our sesquicentennial, right? 150th for the Village of East Aurora next year, 2024. And we had talked about what exactly we wanted to do to acknowledge that. And what got teased out recently in a discussion I was having with Maureen was the eclipse is next April. We could combine them into one super event, an eclipse, and also acknowledge the village's anniversary.
We could put Mr. Vidler in charge of it. Wasn't he the one that wanted to do all the stuff for the
He did send us an
eclipse?
email.
No, it's, yeah, we sell glasses, we sell eclipse glasses, in East Aurora, or we give them one. We sell them?
I mean,
Well, we
get some
I would
merch.
probably, they're pretty cheap. I mean, we could give them away, and they could acknowledge East Aurora Village 150th anniversary, birthday, whatever.
Mhm.
And it would also be something we would do for our citizens. I guess we don't want to give 6,300 pairs of glasses out, but. But anyway, that's maybe something to start doing a little
That's the problem with the glasses anyways, from an environmental standpoint.
I have
Certainly
mine from the
my
last.
environment-
Yeah, me too.
What's that?
I have mine from the last eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like carefully put them in a drawer. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
put 4 pairs of sunglasses on. And it worked.
No,
Did it?
don't do that.
He's seeing spots
I
now.
wouldn't take a chance. I'm
Fine,
I'm almost like afraid to look even with the glasses.
I can still see fine, Ernie.
I don't know, it's taking a chance.
I don't know. We'll have to check.
I'm not recommending it to the public, whoever's listening to this. I don't give medical advice.
Please don't stare at the sun.
Yeah, don't stare at this. All right, let's see, I actually have a request. Can I get a motion to go to executive session for updates on pending litigation?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen,
Second.
second by Grace, further discussion. I will just say, thank you all for coming who aren't gonna be here afterwards. We don't intend to vote on anything afterwards, but you never know, but we don't intend on it. So, moved by Kristen, second by Grace, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approve, we're in executive session.